Hello, friends. Um Many of my students have requested me to take a class on actually anatomy of pelvic organs, out of which few questions which are asked in exams um, have been previously also taken up by me and would probably be taken up in future as well. Today's class is about the anatomy and relations of internal iliac artery. um, I have already posted the picture of the course in a nutshell, which I've made by my own handwriting, and I think it's there on my Facebook page. Some of you who are new would can go and see. Otherwise, my students have already given this page to you in your classes. So let's not waste time. Let's start with the anatomy of the internal iliac artery. Now, first of all, I chose this diagram for you because this is a good pelvic view. This is how it looks while you're doing hysterectomy. This is how it looks when you're doing laparoscopy. So it's very clearly and nicely given over here. In a nutshell, we can see the uterus over here, the adenexa out here, the ureter can be seen very properly, and I wanted this diagram with ureter showing correctly because the relationship with the ureter is very important, not just of the internal iliac artery or of the infundibulopelvic ligament, the tube, but also with the uterine artery, which I've already kind of already spoken about before in my previous lecture. For those who are new, they can subscribe to my channel on YouTube and can see my lecture on the relationship of uterine artery and the ureter and its applied significance. So let's start with the abdominal aorta. Now this is we know that internal iliac artery is a branch of abdominal aorta. So here let's see this. Let's focus on the abdominal aorta. The abdominal aorta around at L4, it divides into two branches, the common iliac artery. So this over here and this over here, you can see the right and the left common iliac artery, such a broad vessel. Okay, the common iliac artery. Right below, you can see over here is the vein of the similar name, of a similar structure, would again split in the similar way with a similar name, common iliac artery, common iliac vein, and then over here, so this is at L4, it branches into two, okay, slightly towards the left side. Now each side, that means this is a common iliac artery, it divides at the sacroiliac joint. Now here L4 ke niche you have the sacrum. Sacrum is a broad kind of a bony structure. It's not like your vertebrae, the earlier on vertebrae. So it's a broad structure, and then it kind of, over here comes the hip bone, which we, in a layman's term, we call the hip bone. So it is composed of, ilium, ischium, pubis. Over here is the ilium. So sacroiliac joint is somewhere here. Below it, the bony protuberance or the bony structure is the sacroiliac joint. That is where it divides into external iliac artery. Can you see this one? External iliac artery, in a rough way, it supplies the external organs. External organs, I'm talking about the muscles, ligaments, bones, etc. This is supplied by the external iliac artery. So what does the internal iliac artery do? This is the internal iliac artery, supplies the internal organs in a nutshell. Okay, now the internal iliac artery, it begins at the sacroiliac joint, right? And it lies medial to the psoas muscle. Now the psoas major muscle also, I've deliberately taken the photograph just to recapitulate a little. This is your psoas major muscle. So it's kind of medial to the psoas major muscle. It's somewhere, I'm talking about the pelvic area over here, so it's somewhere medial to this muscle. It goes somewhere like this, and the external iliac, it goes somewhere like this. So that was all about just recapitulating how the muscle looks and why since I've already mentioned it, I am talking about the muscle over here. So somewhere over here you have the psoas major muscle and lies medial to it. It runs downwards. Can you see this? This is your internal iliac artery. It runs downwards and backwards. All right. It divides at the upper margin of the greater sciatic notch. And now the greater sciatic notch also, I have it so that I can just tell you this is the greater sciatic. This is where it divides into the anterior division and the posterior division. The anterior division and the posterior division. And recapitulating it, why am I recapitulating? So that you remember the major landmarks into anterior and posterior division. Why is it important? Because uterine artery, which is nothing but a branch of internal iliac artery, is actually a branch of the anterior division of internal iliac artery. This happens to be your uterine artery. Look at its tortuous course and look at its close proximity with the ureter. So uterine artery I have already spoken in my lecture before, so I'm not taking it in depth over here, but it's one of the anterior branches of internal iliac artery. What are the other anterior branches? There are many. Like you have the superior vesical artery. Can you see this? Superior vesical artery, the uterine artery, the vaginal artery, the middle rectal artery, and the middle and inferior vesical arteries also. Okay, so superior vesicle, middle vesicle and inferior vesicle, they're all branches of the anterior division. And then comes the uterine artery and the vaginal artery along with the middle rectal artery. They're all anterior branches. Anterior division branches. All right. Then comes obturator, internal pudendal and inferior gluteal arteries. They're all branches of anterior division. I can't show all over here because they're not shown properly, but you've got to remember these things. If you want, any anatomy book will provide you which are the anterior divisions. If you want, I can also post it, or my students will get it anyways. And if you still want it, it's there in any of the books, the anterior divisions or the anterior branches of the internal iliac artery. Then the posterior division. Now the posterior division has iliolumbar, lateral sacral and superior gluteal. These are the branches in the posterior division. So you basically three arteries coming through the posterior division, and almost 3 to 5 here and 3 or 8 coming through the anterior division. So remember that vesicle, you know, the superior, middle and inferior vesicle, the uterine, obviously the vaginal, and then the same area middle rectal. They're all separate. They're visceral branches of the anterior division. And then the obturator, internal pudendal, inferior gluteal, they're all branches also of the anterior division. The parietal branches, they have iliolumbar, lateral sacral and superior gluteal. They are branches of the posterior division. So what now, how applied anatomy is important, that you will see through this area. Just focus on this area. You have external iliac artery and external iliac vein going over here, and here is somewhere your infundibulopelvic ligament. Can you also see the ureter going in close proximity to the internal iliac artery branch over here? It says that, you know, when this tube is resting, it rests on the ureter. So when you're doing your hysterectomy, what you have to do is you have to pull this thing. You have to pull this thing up. You have to retract it up, and then you have to pull it somewhere anteromedial. You have to antero and medially, so that this part is taken away from these two artery and vein, these vessels, and away from the ureter as well. And then you clamp it, or then you ligate it, or whatever you want to do. You want to take a bite, you want to and you're using laparoscopy, you're using harmonic or bipolar, anything. You have to just pull it anteromedial, so that it's away from all these vital structures, from the ureter, from the vessels. This usually does not come into play. So it's the applied anatomy of this is not so important until unless, of course, you're talking about, you know, this area where the ureter is crossing it. But we gynecologists, we don't need to venture in this direction. Hardly we do. So if at all implied anatomy is important of internal iliac artery, it's just this, nothing else. Otherwise, this area is very important. So that was all about the internal iliac artery course. One more thing, towards the end, I'd just like to mention the relations of internal iliac artery. So anteriorly, can you see, the anteriorly it has ureter. Okay. Posteriorly, it has the internal iliac vein. Laterally, it has external iliac vein. Can you see this? Laterally, it has external iliac vein. I'll just mention that only. And then medially, it has the peritoneum. So it's very easy now. If you just focus on this area, the relations are also very clear to you. And I hope by this lecture you've got a visual diagram of the relationship of internal iliac artery, and you won't have to mug up these things. This kind of diagram is not expected from you, but yes, maybe a rough diagram in which you will show this and the landmarks you can show, which I've just mentioned, that will be enough from you. Such a elaborate diagram I don't think is expected from you, but yeah, these bony landmarks which I mentioned and the relation, the the relationships over here, that is expected of you, and maybe a little bit of applied anatomy, that will all be asked. So thank you so much, students. That was all about my lecture on internal iliac artery, and I'll be coming back with more lectures, so just stay